Hello, 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 hello. It is Monday. It is Monday, which means it is time for the first stream of this week. And today we have something interesting, a new topic that I don't think we've ever done before. We're at that stage for the character. I've worked on the smaller pieces, the small details of the character, refining the character's armor. Last week we blocked out the armor, and now I basically covered almost, I would say probably 90% of the armor is done. So now all that's left is first of all the cloak, so the cape part, and then the shoulder pieces. I've modeled one already, so we can go to the other one, and then also to the back, the cape. The cape will be a little bit more interesting just because there's a it's not really super like a normal cape, super perfectly straight and cut perfectly. There are some, like, it is actually torn apart, and there are some, you know, some smaller holes in there, so that'll be interesting to model. And that's going to be today's topic. We're going to go in and we're gonna model it. You know, I've now had some practice now, you know, working on this on the refinement of all the pieces for, I don't even know, probably like 12 hours or so. So I had some practice now using the poly modeling techniques. Basically, they're probably even better techniques than what I've used, but it worked pretty well. What I've done. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. Welcome back, Hustler. Like a new intro song. Yeah, I like that song. Usually I just hit play, and then usually I just go through all the songs and then pick one that I liked for the intro song. Yeah, I like that song, so I picked that one. Yeah, but today we're gonna go into the cloak. The idea, or the workflow, the plan will be today, we're gonna take the base mesh, we're gonna grab the base mesh, put it aside so we can add some more detail to it, refining it basically. We're gonna basically put some holes into the cloak, shape it more into the final shape. Then we're gonna adjust the topology so that it's still all quads and all perfect topology. And then we're gonna bring it back onto the character. We're gonna use sculpting to bring in some waviness and make it actually look like a cloak, or like cloth basically. Just because, right now it's like a flat plane basically, or almost flat plane, which doesn't really look that great. So yeah, that's gonna be today's goal. Today's goal will be to create the cloak. Before we do that though, of course, if you want to see only one of these topics, the cloak or the quick sketch that we do every day, you can see in the timeline there should be timestamps, either for this right there or for this. Yeah, we're gonna begin with the quick sketch as always, and today we have an interesting quick sketch. We have we're gonna go from fantasy to science fiction. And we're gonna go and create a cyborg today. So it's still a character, you could say, like a character, but it's not really, it doesn't really have a face. So that'll be interesting to scope, like a character that still has like human proportions. You can see he has like shoulders here. You can see he has a neck, a head, chest, and all that stuff. So the general anatomy that humans have is still there, but it is sort of cyberfied, mechanized. It's it's been made mechanical basically. So that'll be like a fun shake-up to do. We'll see how detailed we can make it with the time that we have, 30 minutes of course. But we'll see. Yeah, maybe we'll go into science fiction some more in the next quick sketches. We'll see. Science fiction oftentimes has a lot of hard surface, things, So that'll probably be a little bit harder to really do with these quick sketches, just because we don't have that much time to detail out the edges, for example, or smooth some surfaces. But I think we can still achieve some okay results. Yeah, everything's ready. I mean, I kind of want to get through this because I want to continue working on the character, because I could see the end. I've basically finished everything except for the, you could maybe detail out the glove fold or wrinkled some more, and then of course the cloth and the hat, and then we're basically done with the character, and then we can go into the glaive and the wraith. Rhymes perfect. The glaive, the wraith, and the dude. Doesn't really, I don't know what else there is that rhymes with both of them, but yeah, soon we're gonna get into that. And I think so the plan that I probably how I will probably sort of bring all that, like the workflow that we've used for the character. Okay, let me just start this real quick. I don't want to, I always say I don't want to waste time, but then I waste time, and that's just how it is, I guess. Okay, 30-minute quick sketch. 3, 2, 1, go. There you go. Okay, let's begin. So yeah, I'm going to start with the head first. So I think I have sort of like a plan what I want to do for, or how I want to turn all the recordings that I have now from creating the character. How I want to turn that into like short form content. I think what I want to do is I want to basically first of all create like a I don't know, time lapse type video, just to kind of show off the entire workflow, and then I'll probably use the different pieces, like how to create the character, like creating a like the character's body, creating the armor base mesh, maybe then maybe even going into some more detail, creating smaller ornaments for armor, or how to model, or how to sculpt cloth, or how to, small different sections of the process, turning that into individual sort of small, I guess, explanation videos how I did it. I think that could be pretty neat, just so you can, that this long process has some more, I think just putting it into like a time lapse, for example, would be sort of lost value. Same with just making how I did this in a short, like how did I create this character, in a short amount of time. I think that kind of would probably, I think we can I think there's some more value to be gotten there that would get lost if we would sort of how would you say it, like minimize or reduce the depth, I guess. So I kind of want to create maybe a small series around that project, just to explain the small, the individual pieces a little bit more. Welcome back, BG, or no, BWE. Welcome back. Hope you're excited to sculpt the cyborg, or to see me sculpt the cyborg. Of course, you can always join. Might be, you might only have... Oh, hold on, I didn't even start the timer. Oh, no. Okay, hold on. How long was that? Maybe, let's say, 25. Nope, let's say... 23. Okay. Did I... Wait, okay, I can actually see it. Wait, 2 minutes? Okay, well... well, maybe 2:23 is a little bit... Hold on. Okay, let's try again. What was it? 27. Okay, hold on. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, perfect. There you go. I'm using a pen tablet, exactly. A good old graphics tablet. And it served me for quite a while now. So I don't have a desire to get a new one. I thought about getting one with a like a screen, just because I think the benefit of that is similar to comparing comparing digital sculpting without a screen to no, digital drawing without a screen tablet to drawing on like a piece of paper. I think if you can see your hand sort of touching the screen and basically exactly being where you want to adjust or where you want to draw or whatever, I think then you can have just a little bit more control and security with your strokes than if you don't have a screen. That could be just theory, you know, but yeah, that would be my guess. So I kind of thought about getting one, but never really, you know, never really executed on that. Save, it's not even really that much. we scoped for 2 minutes, okay? We don't really have that much yet. There you go, look at him. What a Chad, Mecha Chad. I don't know why, but for some reason I wanted to look up what the... You know, there's this Mega Chad meme with this model or whatever, with this super blocky chin and jawline basically, and I wanted to see what the dude actually looks like, because it looks super like touched up, super fake basically. But then I looked him up, and he actually looks like that. It's so weird to see. Like, of course, it could also just, you know, he could just be a living meme, you know, and he posted these pictures already adjusted himself on his Instagram. But I think it's more that he actually looks like that, because, you know, you could maybe adjust 1 or 2 pictures, but then, you know, he has so many different ones of him that I think that'll be kind of hard to do. So it's kind of weird seeing him, like seeing the actual person with like in different, like the Giga Chat and different clothing. Super weird. 2 brothers. Oh yeah, I saw that, and they almost look the same. That's so weird. There you go. Okay, we're gonna start with this sort of leather coat here in the back for the neck. Oh, okay. Can you give tips for dynamic topology? So the reason why dynamic topology is basically laggy. So my first tip would be to check what resolution you use. For example, if I use what I do right now, if I would use a resolution of 70 or more, maybe even 50, I would have lags. The reason for that is basically because of how wide or how dynamic topology works. How dynamic topology works. It basically subdivides the faces or the geometry that you go over with your brush, which means every time you touch a new face, the more it gets subdivided, and the higher the resolution, the more faces it gets split into, which means the higher the resolution, the more, like, I guess, performance intense it is for the PC. So one easy or one simple way to like speed up your dynamic topology or to make it not lag is just to reduce the resolution. If you already work with a, like I always start with a resolution of 20. There you go, 20. And then if I detail stuff, I go to 50. But I rarely go over 50 in the first, I don't know. I never really go to over 50 before I go into details. So yeah, maybe, you know, it helps. Maybe you already work in like 20. Maybe you use more. I would suggest using like 20 for the beginning, and then if you feel like your scope already looks pretty good, then you can go over to 50. That would be one way. Or if it lags even on 20, what you can try is using multi-resolution instead of what is it? Dynamic topology. With multi-resolution, you subdivide before you go into sculpting, which means that you don't, with every stroke, subdivide, but you subdivide before you go in, and then afterwards, and then you utilize that new subdivided mesh, which means it is, first of all, less intense. Maybe for that time where you subdivided, it's more intense, but then afterwards, it's easier for the PC and it's way smoother, especially if you're scoped. And then, yeah, that would be my next tip. To do that, what you would do is basically you would go into, you would use, for example, if you start with a, what is it, a sphere, what I would do is I would start with 20. If I had like a low-end PC, let's say, I'm not saying you have one, but you know, if I would have like a, you know, low-end PC, what I would do is I would go into the, I would use a sphere in the beginning, and then what I would do is I would sculpt it into the most general basic shape of what I want to sculpt. So for an, I don't know, for this dude here, there would be something like this. I think this is still quite low resolution, and I think that's still possible for most PCs. What we have here right now, and then afterwards I would go back into modeling, or I would use retopology in here. I would remeshing. I would remesh the mesh, and then I would use multi-resolution. I would add a multi-resolution modifier, and then I would basically, yeah, just add more levels of subdivision the more detail I want to add to the mesh. That would be, those would be my tips. Okay, let's see, let's shape this a little bit. With this one we can be quite adventurous, you could say, just because I don't want to 100% stick to the mesh, I mean to the, what do you call it, like the reference, just because I think that would just require too much time to really nail all the details, so I kind of want to just do whatever I want. I think that'll yield better results. Yeah, if you lower the resolution, you should probably be fine. 20. So my thought process behind the resolutions is 20 is for basically creating the shape of the character, and then 50 is to refine edges and like the first details of the character, maybe adding some you know, some beginning details, and then everything above 50 is for smaller and smaller details, basically. Welcome back, Marcelam. Shrink up to the original mesh and apply. Yeah, well, if you use remesh before, then you don't need to use shrink wrap, but if you, of course, you didn't use a new mesh, you can do that as well. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, now it's time to save. There you go. It was so weird, especially with the coming back to the Giga Chad, seeing that photo of him and his two brothers. I didn't even know who he was. I just saw the other, like, all three, and so like, wait, is that like Photoshop, like face swap? All of them have the same face. It was super weird. Okay, let's see, what could we do here? What do we kind of follow the direction that we have for the original, making this more round. There you go. So we can go out here. Oh, okay, let's see if we can sort of work with this. Trying to keep the straight edges here. There you go. Okay. Let's see if we can use the crease brush to just add very small details here. We always have to watch out for the time, for the clock, 16:30. Okay. Maybe we should remove or move this back a little bit to make some room for the eyes. I think that's a cool spot right there. Let's see. So we could use these dots that the person used, but I think what I want to do is make some different eyes. What I want to do here is probably do something like this. And then maybe like this. What is that? I don't know. I think, so I think that kind of, I think it's too similar to the sort of mandibles or whatever you want to call them. You probably couldn't really distinguish them from each other. So maybe going with the round eyes is actually better. But maybe we can place them a little bit differently. So maybe we can make one up right here in the middle and one right there. One right there maybe. I think that's better. Okay. Very, very light crease brush to kind of create a sharp edge here. Going to the back. There you go. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Nice. My day has been pretty good. So at work, you know, the last few weeks were pretty chill, but then of course that cannot happen. You know, that's not something that's not acceptable. You know, having chill days. So one of our clients thought, well, you know, we need some. You know, we have a new advertising campaign. I think you know. How about you do that now? And what is the advertising campaign? Well, we need online banner, like online advertisement banner that you can see on the side of the, like either on Spotify or on other websites like platforms. You know, every now and then, basically. And how many do they need? Well, around about 100. And yeah, so we today sort of discussed how we're going to do this. And when do they want them? Well, at the end of the week. Okay, nice. So then we made like a, you know, we did a briefing on today. But then it turns out it wasn't as shocking as it, I guess, seems from in the beginning. You know, 100 banner seemed pretty much. And then we looked a little bit more into the requirements. You know, they sent us like an Excel list, what the banners are supposed to be. Some of them are the same, so we can basically just copy them. You know, some of them. Oh yeah, the good part is the images that we've used are from an old campaign that we actually also created, and the campaign is basically the same, which means we can just grab the old banner. Or we can grab the old online banners, and we can just basically duplicate them or copy them to the new formats, and then you know set them up that way. So if we kind of crunch down, you know, the work that we have to do and what we have to do, it's actually quite simple and it shouldn't take too long. So it's actually more reasonable than we thought. I remember that was actually the project that we're gonna build off of now. That was the nightmare project before. The nightmare project was basically where we, well, the story was basically we had a new, you know, there was a new shooting planned, and a few from our team basically wanted to, you know, they were supposed to do it, and so they asked the they looked at some old I think shootings and asked if the what is it, like the car seller where we wanted to shoot had basically looked like the one that was in the campaign. The client said, yeah, it's gonna look like that, you know. And then lo and behold, it didn't look like that. Who'd have thinking? And looked completely different. What looked completely different? The ground. It wasn't so in the older campaign that we used as reference. The ground was basically perfectly black concrete, not concrete, asphalt. Is it called like that? I think so. But the actual car seller had these weird like plastered like a plastered ground, basically like these small stones put together, which means the plan, of course, was to use an asphalt ground or some sort of like, you know, ground like that for the shooting. It was also in the contract that we, you know, signed with the client. But then it turns out, well, that didn't work. Well, there's no, you know, the ground is different. So what do we do? And then somebody came to me and said, "Hey, don't you know some, you know, don't you know a little bit about 3D?" I said, "Yeah, why?" And then they're like, "Well, you know, we have this problem here." And then you know, what I had to do basically was to welcome back Zachary. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. Maybe you were chilling. Maybe it was a productive weekend. Hopefully it was good either way. We, you know, my what I had to do was basically grab the shooting photos, and first of all remove the ground, which is not that hard, and then replacing it with a new ground, with a new like floor basically, which looked better. So, you know, there were, I think, of course, a very short deadline as always, and I think there were eight images overall, and the workflow, of course, was then to grab the image, copy the perspective of the camera to the blend file, so that I can put in a new plane and add a new add a ground texture, so I can render that out. And oh no, of course I cannot just export out a plane. No. I also need to I needed to grab a new a mannequin file from blend swap to use for the shadows of the characters or the people, of course. And then I needed to also grab a car model so I can create the car shadow. The problem was there were multiple car models, so I had to I couldn't really only use the model that I grabbed. I also had to sort of remodel it so that it fits sort of the size and shape of all the different cars. I think there were like 3 cars in general, like overall, which also took some more time. And then the end result was basically, well, I think I need to work like through the weekend. So I worked Saturday and Sunday as well, probably like 8 hours or so, and then, you know, we got it done. And yeah, we got it done. And then the best part is the client didn't really like the ground, or well, the ground was like the material was okay, but it always looked weird to them. I don't know, you know, they said, well, it somehow looks weird. I don't know if it was because of the 3D work, my 3D work, or it was because of the post-processing from, you know, the others. But they tried to make it look good for the client, but the client just didn't like it, until they basically completely changed. So what they've done then afterwards is they wanted me to export the texture of the character. No, what? They wanted me to export the plane texture or the ground texture like just separately as like a plane, so they can put that into photo, like put that in the scene or in the in the photo in Photoshop, and then they wanted to manually add the shadows So they did that, and then at some point, I guess they, I don't know, either the deadline was just too pressing, or the client was happy. You know, we finished the project, but that wasn't even the worst part. But welcome back, Crowisty. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. Yeah, that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was that we not only had photos, we also had video. And me and one other person can edit videos in our agency. And I was the one person that had to do it. Like, God, you know, I was supposed to, you know, not only do, well, it was planned for me only to do the video stuff, but then I also had to do the 3D stuff, of course. And so I also had to change the ground for the videos. The videos weren't just people staying there, you know, just sitting there or, you know, doing nothing. There was one where a person, I think there were 3 where I needed to change the ground. First of all, you need to, of course, remove the ground from the video, and then you need to add the new one. So there's another new perspective that I need to render out. On top of that, there was one video where the person was running in front of the car. So that meant that you not only had to remove the ground, you also had to remove, oh, hold on. You also had to remove the ground reflection in the car, which of course also needed to happen for the images. Yeah, and then you need to put in the new ground, the new floor. So I learned a few new, you know, I learned quite a few new tricks in After Effects, basically doing that. And you know, all it took me was an entire weekend. But you know, at least we get it done in time, I guess. After that project, I said to myself, if that's gonna happen again in more than you know, if that's gonna happen earlier than a year later, then probably gonna dip out. I don't wanna, you know, I guess frequently in my eyes lose a weekend just because of because I have to, I don't know, like please a client, I guess. That's what I said to myself, and it didn't happen so far, you know. It never, you know, I've been there for 3 years now, and I think it never really happened that there was like a project that crazy. Everybody sort of said like, oh, that was a, you know, super huge sort of mistake, you could say, and everybody kind of said, well, let's try and avoid that as much as possible. So I don't think it's going to happen again. Maybe, at least, you know, if it's going to happen, the chances are pretty rare. As long as nobody says like, well, that's just how it is, then, you know, I'm happy. But yeah, that was the horror story project. But that was actually I think the first and only project. No, there was one other one. That was the second project where I could use 3D for a client. The other 3D project that I've done so far were only ever for like internal stuff. So that was fun. Yeah, and you know, at least I learned a little bit more new techniques and whatnot. So, you know, time wasn't wasted. So we have 2 minutes left. Let's refine some edges here, and then I think we're pretty much done. The most prevalent edges. And then we can go into post-processing, and then we can go into the character. As I said before, I've continued working on it over the weekend. So it's basically almost done, except for the head and the cloth. I mean, the cloak. So that's what we're going to do today. There's one shoulder piece, sort of cloth piece as well, which isn't really done yet, but that shouldn't take too long. I'll either do that off stream, or we could do that as well. But I think I want to focus on the cloak first. There you go. Beautiful, smooth surfaces. $51. Okay. How about we add a little bit more to this? Ta-da. Perfect. "23 seconds. We have a little bit more time. First cyborg of this quick sketch series, I guess. 9 seconds. Okay, there you go. These refined edges will look really, really good in the render in the end. Okay, there you go. Perfect. Looks pretty good. I like it. Perfect. Back to the layout. We didn't really do that much for... Oh, interesting. We didn't really do that much for the torso, but I think that's okay. Let me just quickly remove the bottom part. Make it nice and clean. Why did I make it smooth? There you go. Sometimes I like to use a sphere to make it nice and round at the bottom. Like this. Perfect. So it's going to be perfectly straight, but that's okay. Let's save first, so that we don't destroy or lose our sculpt. Oh, that's the wrong one. There you go. Perfect. The final, the final sculpt. Intersect. There you go. Perfect. Okay, let's do a quick render. We could maybe even add some eyes here. I think that could be pretty cool. For the 3 holes right there. Nice and smooth. There you go. I still need to think about how we're gonna do the weapon. The problem with the weapon model will be that there isn't really a good reference for it. There's one concept art which has a pretty straight on look of the glaive. I mean the scythe. The problem is it's not perfectly like head on. And of course the best case scenario would be to just basically, you know, have like a technical drawing maybe even that we can use for the glaive model. But I think we need to work with what we have, which is much. But the good part is, the good thing is, I think as far as I've seen, the glaive actually is made out of there's a middle piece, I guess like a trunk, and then on the outer parts there are like pieces attached to it, so we can avoid having to model everything together. We can basically, you know, create it out of multiple pieces that we can put together, which will be definitely easier than having to, you know, create everything out of one. Okay, there you go. Should we make it smooth? No. There you go. Okay. Where's my camera? There you go. What color should this be? What color should the lighting be? Let me put them in the middle here. There you go. Maybe a little bit bigger. Perfect. I'm thinking red, but I think I've used red just recently. No, I think, yeah. Hold on. What was the last color? Let's see. So the most recent colors were, what is that? I guess pinkish red. The one before that was yellow. The one before that was green. And the one before that was purple. Yeah, we could probably use red. Perfect, okay. Maybe like a reddish orange, we'll see. Okay. There you go. We need some lights. Oh. Where are you, lights? There you are. Okay. No, we don't need the background. Perfect. Okay. Nice dark shadows. Nice dark background. Perfect. Okay. First thing first. Oh, we also need the material. Let's remove the timer. There you go. There it is. Oh. Oh, that's the wrong one. Why? Oh. Okay, hold on. Need to grab another quick sketch here that has the material. This one? Let's see. Nope. Well, of course, I always grab the wrong one. Maybe I should actually label it, but that would be too easy. There you go. Okay. That's pretty good. I like it. Okay. Should we make it quite... Oh, it's actually quite glossy already. Maybe 0.2 looks pretty good. Then we could... Oh, we could... oh, we wanted to add some glow to these eyes. So we can probably just use an emission node. There you go. Perfect. Nice and red. Oh, okay. Maybe not completely dark red. Actually, oh, we can probably keep it like this. It probably just looks weird because there's no glow around it. So I'll just keep it like this for now. Okay. Next up, the lights. I like to go through them one by one. So we're going to start with the main light. See where we can get some nice shadows here. Kind of want to keep it in the middle. Put it high above them so we can have some nice shadows here, some strong shadows. There you go. You can see the difference from this to this. See, there's no shadows, no definition in the face, and then comparing it to this one, see, you can see the structure way better. Next up, the color. No, let's do the rim light first. I think I want to keep it on this side. So it always seems like if you put the rim light on the side where the camera is closest to, so if you have the camera on the left side, putting the rim light on the left side as well, makes the character appear more like friendlier, or I don't know, like this one just seems darker to me. Maybe that's just me, but this just, I don't know, it just looks better. Or more friendly, more natural, I don't know. We can also put it in, you know, on both sides. Let's try that. And then this. I kind of like it there. Or here. No, on this side it's kind of hard to see. So let's change the color. What do we have here? Nice dark orange maybe? Like this. Ooh. What about a nice power of 5,000? Yes. Nice. Okay. That's nice. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Time to render. There he is. Isn't he beautiful? There it is. Okay. Time for some PP post-production. First level right there. Ooh. Maybe a little bit less. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like it. I like the, if it's very, very intense, the light, I like to use a threshold of 3, size 6 and high. Size basically removes the distance that the glow travels, you could say. So if I set this to 8, you can see it just jumps out way more. So you can change the size. How far can you even get with this? I think you can go to 10. Oh, what about 20? Nope. Okay, 9 seems to be the highest, and I think 6 is the lowest. Yeah, 6 is the lowest. You can get from 6 to 9. I like 6. We can't really see any glows in the eyes, but that's, I think, okay. If the light on the side is so intense, we can't really lower it too much, so we can have some glow in the eyes as well. We could increase the intensity though, but I don't know how high we need to set it. Let's see. Hello? Oh, of course. Well, no, I'm gonna just keep it like this. Who cares about the eyes? There you go. Perfect. It is time to drink. Oh, okay, my bottle is empty. Hold on, give me a sec. I can drink now, at least as long as it's alcohol. Let me just quickly fill up. There you go. Okay. We're done. Easy. Look at him. Okay. Yay for alcoholism? No. Bad. Alcoholism bad. Never drink alcohol. Okay. Oh, I need to save it. Who would have thought? Quick sketch. Day 220. No, 232. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Let's go to Photoshop and do the last finishing touches. Shouldn't take too long. And then we can go into today's topic. There you go. Add some more depth here, and then that should be enough. Maybe a little bit more white. You can see we lose some detail here if we bump it up too high, see? So I kind of want to keep it quite low. Maybe plus 10. Black should be good enough. I don't want to make the background too dark. So that's pretty good. I like it. You're allowed to get drunk today. Today's a work day. Okay. You're allowed to be drunk or to get drunk on the weekend, okay? I don't allow this on my stream. If you drink, then you need to leave the stream, okay? That's a rule. Have you not read the rules? Okay. There you go. Oh. Perfect. Okay. My birthday Happy birthday then. Just because it's your birthday doesn't mean that you can drink, okay? Okay, yeah. Hope you had a good birthday. Maybe, you know, you're somebody that likes to celebrate your birthdays. So maybe you're not. Maybe you're more chill about it. I don't really like to hype it up too much. I'm probably a celebrator, I guess you could say. Okay, so we're going to continue working on the character. Of course, we're going to create the cloak today. Basically, almost everything is fully detailed. Only a few pieces are left. I'm going to show you what the character looks like now after the compilation, after the quick sketch upload. So if you want to see what it looks like, then you need to wait 3 minutes. Yeah, so I'm going to upload the quick sketch and then we're going to begin creating the cloak. The cloak will be interesting because it's not just a normal piece of cloth, just like a square, but it has holes in it. So we need to adjust the geometry so that it accounts for the holes. That'll be interesting. Shouldn't be too complex, but you know, it still needs to be done. There you go. That's it. V. Perfect. Okay. I'm gonna see you in 3 minutes. Stop peeing? What do you mean? Oh. There you go. I stopped. Now my chair is wet, but I guess that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Okay. Just came from work now, getting drunk then sleeping. I mean, you know, I prefer that over making a huge party, having a huge party. Maybe not the drinking part, but you know, the rest. Sleeping, I guess. Yeah. Hope you enjoy your day. The rest of your birthday. Cake day, as Reddit likes to say. Okay. 3 minutes, and then we're gonna go into the character and how we will sculpt, how we will model the cloak of the character. So I'll see you in 3 minutes. Enjoy the compilation. Da-da. Okay. We are ready. We are ready to continue and get one step closer to the I guess completion of the character. So we don't need this anymore. Let's open the new version. Okay, so as you can see, I worked from the bottom up. This is all, so I've added a multi-res modifier to all of this. So if I want to, see the the high res version, I can just enable the modifiers everywhere. I don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna keep it low res. But you can, you can at least see all the shapes now. I've added some small pins like this to sort of connect these belt pieces, for example, to the, to the legs, for example. These things are weird. What I really like is this piece here. It was quite simple actually to model. Looking at it right here, looks maybe a little bit complex, but if you go through it one by one, it was actually quite simple to model. And yeah, now it's on the character. Yeah, maybe I'll make a small video explaining how I did it. This small piece here, but because I think it it looks pretty cool with I guess a simple workflow. Yeah, so if I would set this to high resolution as well, the pans, we can see the final version of that as well. You can see these things here connecting this pad right here to the legs. You could argue that we could add some more detail here and there. We can still do that, so that shouldn't be a problem. We could also sort of create some pressure points here where the legs are. Yeah, but that's basically everything. Here the belts, the two belts, this piece right here. And then what is left is basically, I've just before the stream sculpted the arms right here, sculpted it into cloth before it was just like a smooth surface like this. And then I also added or sculpted this cloth piece right here. There's going to be like a pin here that'll hold this cloth piece in place. And then, yeah, I've, turned this into some sort of patchy, broken down, yeah, like a piece of cloth. We're going to do the same with the cloak. We also have the same on this side. And then we can, yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to begin with this piece, just to kind of go over the workflow in general. Or, well, the only thing that we really need to do for this one is we need to basically, sculpt this into the shape that this one has. And then we can go into the back. So we can probably begin with this, because this shouldn't take too long. And then we can continue. We can begin with the cloak. Where's the cloak? Hold on. Oh, I also need to bring back these pieces here. There you go. Oh. There you go. Nice spikes right there. Yeah. So you can see it's basically done except for the collar. These small straps here, which don't take that long to add. The cloak, of course. And then this mouthpiece here with the mask and the hat. It shouldn't take too long. Maybe 1 or 2 more days. And then we have the character done. Yeah, let's begin with this piece here. I'm going to hide this real quick, just so we don't see it. I'm going to rename it though, so we can actually, I guess, remember it. Let's call it, you know what? Yeah, let's call it shoulder strap 1 block out. There you go. This one we'll call block out scope strap 2, and this one will be strap 3. There you go, perfect. Okay, we don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this right now. let's go into sculpting this. You can see there might be some problems here. There's some pinching there, but that shouldn't be very visible in the end, especially if you set it to smooth. You can see not really visible at all. So it's all good. Let's go into sculpting this. So the geometry is already perfectly set up. I've cleaned it up, created these nice spikes here. We're going to go over how I did it with this one for the cloak. So for this one, we're just going to create a quick, I guess we're going to sculpt it into some cloth, into a cloth shape, instead of some, I don't know, some weird mass. He likes to wear shiny gold and cover it up. Exactly. He likes to, you know, flex that he's rich, but he does it very subtly so that, you know, people don't notice it immediately. He looks like just a normal dude, but then if people look closer, he's actually a rich boy. Okay. We don't need subdivisions, we need multi-resolution, because then we can, if we for example use subdivisions here, we could add 1 or 2. I think for this one I've used 2. If we add 2 subdivisions here, and we sculpt in this level, we can go back a level and change this geometry as well. This way it's just easier to sculpt in multiple detail levels, while still keeping all 3 of them, for example. Yeah, that's just easier than applying the subdivision modifier and then only having one resolution that we can sculpt on. Do you like the little bust I made? The one that you posted over the weekend? Or is there a new one? Okay, let's begin with level 1, the general shape. We give sculpting, there you go, and now we can begin. So if we look at some references here, oh, stop virtual camera, what is that? Press the wrong button. Okay, so this is a horrible reference. This is also a horrible reference. You can see a little bit what it looks like, but I want to get another one. I don't think I have a really good reference for the cloth. So we probably need to go a little bit more theoretical with this one. What I mean is, when I kind of thought about it today, about how to sculpt cloth, there were sort of 2, the mindset that I use when I sculpt cloth, and I'm probably not the best at sculpting cloth, you know, I've never really practiced it, I guess. But how I think about sculpting cloth is basically I go from, there are 2 modes that cloth can have. Like cloth, no, 3, there you go, 3. It can either be completely relaxed, just like hanging, for example. It can be stretched, or it can be squashed, so pushed together. And all these 3 states of cloth can change the way that it's shaped. If you know, the easiest one would probably be relaxed, so just flat. You know, if you have a sheet of paper or you have a piece of cloth and it just hangs down like this, it's just going to be straight. There's nothing in it, you know, just perfectly straight. If you push it together, like here, for example, you push it together, then you're going to create wrinkles here in the middle. You can see it like this. You know, skin works too. We create some wrinkles like this. And if we, can you see it like this? There you go. And the other one would be stretching. So for example, if you have like a sleeve that goes over your elbow all the way to your arm, and this is relaxed. And then if you do this, what happens with this part here, the cloth that is right here, the fibers right here, is this is the neutral sort of position. And then if you do this, the distance that these fibers here have to run is way longer than what you have here in the middle. So in the middle, the cloth gets pinched or squashed here in the middle, like this, you know, zip, squashed together. On the outside though, it'll be pushed out or stretched, which means there will be no wrinkles here because everything's stretched, but there will be a lot of wrinkles here in the middle because there's cloth bunching up. And this way, kind of thinking about how the cloth behaves or what affects the cloth and how it affects the cloth is sort of how I think about, or what I think about when I sculpt cloth. It's probably, there's probably a lot more to it. If you practice it, which we'll maybe do at some point, we can probably learn the more intricate movements of cloth, I guess you could say. But that's the I guess beginner mindset that I have. Oh, there are also these knuckle wristbands that we need to do still, but I can also do those off stream. The weekend one, I haven't looked at it too much, but I like that you started going into your, that you start adding more of the character into it. Not only the head without the ears. Now you're adding the neck and also the chest. I like it, but I haven't really looked into it too much. Okay. Yeah, let's begin with this. So you can see here, this is the first level. What I mean with different levels of detail is, of course, if the geometry is pretty low or the density is pretty low, and you sculpt something here. Okay. Oh, there you go. Wait, is symmetry off? Sometimes symmetry causes freezing. Okay, it's off. Perfect. So if we go in here and we have low resolution and we add detail like this, you can see we can't really add too much here. But if we then add a multi-res modifier on top of this, set it to 2, you can see, oh, we have way more detail. So why don't we detail this some more? There you go. And then we can go even deeper and deeper and deeper. So depending on how much resolution you need, you can go lower or higher. And the good part about that is that you can work on small details over here, for example. But if you want to have a big fold that goes over these small details, what you can do is you can go lower again, lower in the detail, into the resolution, and then you can sculpt in here, and the details that you have in the higher levels will still be there, because with this low resolution you don't change them, which is really, really handy if you create anything. Is basically create the final look of the character. It can be very, very helpful. So we can probably begin with level 1, and then we can go lower and lower, higher and higher and higher, maybe to 3 or maybe even just 2 to sculpt out the cloth right here. So looking at the back right here, I think I have a back image here. Maybe it's even here. There you go. You can see there's like a sort of pin right there that holds the that holds the cloak that you see here together. It's sort of pinned right there. And then on this side there are these buckles that hold together. So this piece kind of gets stretched over here like this one does from the buckles, and in the front it's sort of the same. Looking at references from the front, you have we can probably grab this one. You have these buckles coming together. So on both ends you sort of have 2 points, two points that hold it together, which means points of no gravity are right here and right here. Let's see. Oh, hold on. What happens if we do this and then we use a cloth modifier? So if we use a cloth modifier and we can go here and set it from, what is it set to? Is that the right one? No, this one. What is it called again? Cloth filter. We can basically enable gravity for this. So the way it works is if you swipe right, wait, no. Oh, okay. Let's try again. It's kind of oh, what happened? Hello. Okay, nice. Did I wait? I'm still in scope mode, but I can't see my hello. I can't see my cursor. What happened? Ah, there you go. Let's try again. I don't really know how this works. I tried it before, and it worked better. What I wanted to do is I wanted to pull it down so that these black parts of the mesh basically hold it in place, which of course causes the cloth to sort of move and create some wrinkles, not naturally. But guess we're not going to do that then. Let's just create them ourselves. So these pieces right here will not be moved because they will be held together or will be held in place. But the middle part will be affected by gravity and will not be held in place, which means we need to push it down because it falls down because it's being affected by gravity. You can see it can't really fall down too much because there's a piece underneath that. But as long as we keep it low to it, not really flying above it, we should be good. There's a cloth brush. Yeah, there's a cloth brush, but the cloth brush doesn't really do what I wanted. The cloth brush just kind of adds some weird wrinkles to it. What I wanted to do is make a simple cloth simulation, which I think you use the cloth brush for because there's a gravity function for it, gravity mode. So if we think about what happens if you hold this in place and it falls down like this in this direction here, what happens is that this cloth here, looking at the distance from here to here, and the cloth falling down in this direction, what happens is that the cloth gets squashed together, which means we will have some wrinkles going out from here. You can see it on this side as well. What I mean, it's being held together, but because the cloth falls down, we have some small wrinkles coming from here basically, and then you get this layering effect like this. It kind of bunches together. We're gonna sculpt the same on this side. Okay, so we can probably just copy what we have on this side. No, okay. I thought about just duplicating it, but I don't think that's gonna work. I want to show you what I've done for this side anyway. Okay, so we're just gonna create some outgoing lines for these tension, I guess, wrinkles. There you go. Going back into the other pinch point here. Creating some depth, not only going outwards, but also going inwards. Of course, afterwards we also have to take into account the strap that we're gonna add. But we're gonna do that afterwards. Same with what we've done here for these pieces here. This was smooth before. Then I've added the straps, and then afterwards I've added the cloth simulation, I guess. It's just easier to do that afterwards. Okay. Welcome back. O criador sin importância. Hope you enjoyed your weekend and of course your Monday. Maybe have you already finished one of your games, or are you still hard at work trying to figure it out? I hope, you know, well, it's already the 20th. Maybe you haven't started at the first, but you know, if you started at the first, might be pretty close to the end here. Probably need to be done with at least 2 by now, but maybe, you know, you have some more time. Okay, I'm probably gonna pull this out a little bit more so I have some more room here. There you go. It's quite thick cloth, so it has some stability to it. And then once we kind of have the general shape, like this, there you go. I think that's pretty good. Oh, I think that is pretty good. We can go into the next level. Down here, I kind of have some trouble thinking about what it would look like. What if the cloth would be like realistically, I guess, simulated. But that is the end result right now. Let's go into more resolution. So all we have to do, we have to just go into multi-resolution and add another resolution level. And now we have way more detail that we can use. And now we can actually make some sharp edges here. They're still quite low res, but that's okay. There you go. Go in here, do the same. We don't need to go too far. Usually if folds generally have a peak point where they are the sharpest, and then they fall off on the further it goes out from the peak point. Sometimes they are in the middle of the wrinkle. Sometimes they're in they're at the beginning, like this one for example. Generally, as far as I have observed so far, is that the peak point is where the deformation comes from. So if you have a if you do this for example, well, this is, well, okay. So if you look at your hands, you can see if you close your hands, you have these wrinkles here in the middle. Generally, these wrinkles here in the middle are the highest. The peak is in the middle because this thumb is pushing this skin together, which means it gets pushed higher, and it's not being affected from the side here. From here, it's being affected from the thumb, which is in the middle, which means the wrinkles are the highest in the middle. Can I do something else? I guess, hold on. If I do this, you can see they are the highest right here because I push this finger down, which means right here where it gets pushed down the most is the highest, and then it tapers off the further it goes over here. That is kind of the idea for every piece of wrinkle that we add here. The point where it gets affected the most, where the deformation comes from, is where the sharpness or the peak is the highest. So with the cloth being pinched here, that is where the deformation comes from. So the cloth or the wrinkles are the highest right there, or the peaks. There you go. Then you have some smaller ones right there. And then the further they go out, the smoother they get. Okay. I think that's pretty good. It looks kind of too strong right here. Maybe we can push this in a little bit. Oh. Okay. Down here, I think that's okay. Not too much we need to do there. Okay, so we have this layer now. We could add another one. I think we can go one higher, just to kind of add a little bit more detail to this. So we could go in here, for example, just do this, and you can see if your PC is struggling with sculpting, that's a way how you can save some, I guess, processing time and some RAM, I guess, or whatever is being used when you subdivide. And you can use multi-resolution to sculpt. You can add more and more resolution the more you need, and it's all being done before you sculpt. This way your sculpting will be very, very smooth. There you go. Create some sharp edges here. Just gonna give it some more detail here. Maybe make it a little bit more sort of broken. Adding some scratches here, maybe like this. That's why I also added sort of multi-resolution to all the pieces, because we can do that then as well. Just adding small imperfections, big imperfections to all the models afterwards. We of course can also do that with shaders. But of course, shaders don't affect the geometry, except for if we use, of course, displacement. There you go. Okay. I think that's pretty good. It sort of looks too even, though, with the other side. So maybe what we could do is we could remove this one here. we can make one big one out of this. That could be cool. Let's see. What does that look like? So if we just make this bigger, right here. There you go. Yeah, just to kind of, you know, we have 3 sort of folds right there. I don't want to have the same exact same shape here on this side. So I kind of just try to mix it up a little bit. Maybe we can smooth some of these edges here. They seem to be quite strong. There you go. Looks pretty good to me. Perfect. And then one last step that we can do. We can grab the good old snake hook brush and make these edges a little bit more, I guess, broken. We can do this. There you go. It'll maybe sort of break the even geometry, but I think that's okay. Just kind of make it a little bit, you know, destroyed. There you go. It's all being saved in the multi-resolution anyway. So if we look at the resolution in level 3, can we even do that? I don't even think we can. Well, if we sort of can. Hold on. See, now it's broken down. Looks way more natural. There you go. If we go to here and we look at the wireframe, you can see the spots where we kind of pulled it. Oh, we can't even see it. Okay. Well, you have to imagine these edges now get kind of pulled outwards, which kind of breaks the even geometry. But good thing about that is if we go back to multi-resolution level 1, it looks perfectly clean again. And that's the magic of multi-resolution. There you go, perfect. Set it to smooth. Okay, so let's go to the cloak now. I'm gonna keep the glaive there because we need it later. Or we needed to kind of estimate where the cloak should be. Save it right there. Then we bring in the cloak. I actually figured out how you can find objects in the finder right here. So if I want to find this piece right here, if I want to find this small pin right there, I can go into my outliner, which you can't see right now. Hold on. Oh. So if you go into the outliner and you select the piece that you want to find in the outliner, you can press numpad dot to find it. It works the same in the viewport. So if you look somewhere else, like over here, and you press numpad dot, you move back to the object and it focuses on the object. The same happens if you do that in the outliner, which is very handy. With so many different objects that we have here, you know, it can get quite overwhelming, and always having to find like the smallest pieces can be quite annoying, especially if you parent them, because then they are inside another object. Just pressing dot is very simple. There you go. Problems with my team, they think I'm doing them a favor by giving them a job, and I think they don't work very good. Oh no. Yeah. So, so it's actually like a group project instead of just like a one-man project. Okay. So I think I called it Cloak. There you go. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you know, if you tell them that, maybe they'll get better, you know. If they like the work, then they probably will. Just because they don't want to lose the work. Okay, so the geometry from the block out is pretty good already. We have nice clean topology. One thing we need to do is we need to clean it up. What I mean with cleaning it up is what I like to have for the edge is a continuous outline that goes all around the object. Looking at, for example, this piece right here, you can see we have a edge that goes all around the object, all the way around. We have the same for these pieces here, like this, And the good part about that is that if we set it up that way, we can reinforce the edges easier, which helps in when we subdivide the object. We can do the same here. See how there's like the same edge that goes all around. Same here. There you go. Yeah, it just helps in cleaning up the edge of the model, which is of course important. So yeah, so we have the cloth geometry already. One thing I don't like, but we I guess just have to work with, is that it kind of overlaps here. Maybe we don't even need to change it too much down, like in the below layer, just because we can't see it anyway. So the main focus will of course be in the back. So the first goal will be to clean up the geometry, make a nice clean edge that goes all around the the edge basically. So I'm just gonna grab this cloak and duplicate it to the side. This will be the refined version. As you can see, I've done it here for a lot of pieces. You can see some pins here. You can see this strap right there. Here's the what is it? The shoulder piece, arm protection, arm brace, the shoulder cloth. It's like a you know, if you want to work with Lego, you separate everything. Like if you buy a Lego set, you separate all the different pieces so that you exactly know where you can find whatever you need. That's what I've done here. The first row right here on the x-axis, the red line, are all the base meshes or all the blockouts, and then I've grabbed these blockout meshes and just detailed them more. They had pretty good topology to begin with, so I didn't really have to make a new object, which is very useful, which we can also use, or which is also the case for the cloth. So first of all, I want to separate, I want to change the cloth. Actually, no, I want to keep the cloth pivot point right here, because then we can just replace, or we can copy the position of the blockout cloak with the new cloak, which yeah, it's just easier that way rather than having to fiddle it into the exact same place that it was before. Okay, gonna remove the solidify modifier, and then I'm just gonna duplicate this and create the refined version. We're gonna begin with creating a nice clean edge flow around the edge. Looking at it right now, we can see these faces follow the edge right here, but then they just end right there. These edges follow like this, so we have sort of these two edges that sort of cross. What I want to create here though is an edge flow, or this yellow line is supposed to go from here around to this and sort of make the curve right there. It's very, very simple to do, so let's do it real quick. The knife became my new best friend in changing geometry. All we really have to do is grab the knife, go into this edge right here, and draw it out to this. Basically, go diagonally through the face that is in the corner, like this. We do that on this side as well. There you go. And then we only really need to remove these edges right here. If we do that, dissolve edges, there you go. Now we've perfectly cleaned up the geometry. And there you go. Now the yellow line goes through here, makes a nice 90-degree turn, goes through there, 90-degree turn, and goes up. Now what we can do is we can space out the geometry a little bit more. You can see it's quite a long way downwards here. So we can first of all pull this down, give it some more room. We can space these faces out some more here. We can do the same down here. We can bring this closer over there. Okay, that should be enough. We can do the same here. Perfect. Do the same here. This way we can just kind of, I guess, space out the geometry a little bit better, which will yield better results when it comes to smooth, or which will yield smoother, like a smoother surface. You can see here, these are quite close together. Pull them out. And then if we go up here, we can see it goes up, but then it ends right there. It ends right here. So what we'll probably do is we will go from here. We will make another cut from here. Come on. From here to here, so that it goes up 90 degrees. Then it goes from here to here, 90 degrees, follows this edge right here. Da-da-da. Then goes, and we need to transform this edge right here. We want the edge to flow around the neck, basically, over here, and then it ends by going like this. And then we basically finished the edge. So we're going to do it here first. We're going to remove these edges, dissolve edges. Oh, there you go. We can see it kind of jumped, but if we pull this vertex higher, we have it back in front of the other part of the cloth. Then we can grab these vertices, bringing them closer over here to smooth out the geometry a little bit. We can probably give this some more space here. So I'm just gonna grab all this and pull it forward. There you go, perfect. If we wanted to, we could add one more edge loop right here. Let's do that. There you go. Now we need to push this back a little bit to give it some more space. Perfect. Okay. There you go. And now the edge follows the edge. Going over here. Now we need to fix this. So we know where it's supposed to go. It is supposed to go from here to here. But how do we put that into, how do we do it? First of all, I want to add another edge right here, just because this face is very long. Then I'm gonna pull this down slightly, so that this face right here isn't as long. There you go. Okay. Next up, we need to basically, so we can see right here, this edge goes like this. This edge goes like this. So we somehow have to turn this into here. I mean, you know, the easiest way to do that would just be to add a diagonal cut right there. And then remove these edges, I guess. There you go. But then you can see there's a problem right here. Now this face is not a quad anymore, because it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 edges. But it's a pretty simple way to fix that. We just add a cut right here. This way we have quads again, and we've cleaned up this part of the mesh. Now we just need to do the same over here. Da-da-da, and perfect. Now we have a nice clean edge flow that follows this, the neck basically. What I don't like is that it kind of sort of that it's so long, this edge right here. So I'm just going to pull it over here a little bit. We could maybe sort of unstretch this a little bit by changing some geometry here, but for now I'm going to keep it like this. We're going to do the same on this side. So we just wait, how do we do it again? Oh yeah, let me put this there. We do this, we remove these edges, we add them back. Oh, there you go. And you can see how easy it is with the knife tool. That's why I like it so much now. There you go. Nice little edge right there. We can smooth it out some more. Perfect. Going over here follows it pretty nicely. And then the end right here, a very simple change so that the edge doesn't really just end there. It continues like this in a U shape. Oh, going from the outer corner to the inner corner. Doing the same over here. Removing these edges. There you go. We could add a cut here in the middle to retain the shape a little bit better, but because it's in behind the other mesh anyway, I don't think it's necessary. Okay, see ya, Marslim. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining. There you go. There you go. And now we can see the edge follows all the way through. See how it's now a full circle? That's what I like to see. Okay, so that's the first part. The next part is if we now add a subdivision modifier, we can see what it looks like. Looks pretty good already. One thing that I want to change though is I want to make the corners sharp again. The way we do that is pretty simple. We just grab this edge. We can grab this edge as well. And then we press Shift E to add, what is it? I don't even know what it's called. Oh, an edge crease. Basically it changes how much subdivisions or the smooth modifier smoothes that edge basically. If we set it to 1, it doesn't, it doesn't smooth it at all. If you set it to something like 0.5, you can see it slightly smooths it, but we want to have it fully straight like this. We can do the same here. Just to begin with, we might change it later, but I think that's a good starting point. There you go. Perfect. So we have then some nice sharp corners again. What we could do now is we can smooth it a little bit. We can see we have some bumps right here, for example, right there, right here, and here in the front. We can see these sharp edges kind of look weird right now, but they should smooth themselves out, especially if you go over it with the sculpting brush. But we're going to do that later. First of all, what I want to do is I want to add a rough edge down here. Looking at the reference, this one is a bad reference. This one is better. You can see the edge is sort of roughed out. There are even some holes here in the cloak itself. Looking at some more references here, for example, the concept art, that is the concept art usually is crazier than the in-game model. So looking at it right here, you can see, look how crazy it is down there. We're probably not going to go with that, with such a crazy cloak. We might add a few, we might make the bottom part here a little bit rougher. We also add probably some holes right here, just kind of spice it up a little bit, but we don't really need to go that deep and that crazy. So let me just drink real quick, and then we're going to begin roughing up the cloak, I guess. The mosquito sting is still there. He's still here. Mosquito bite or sting? I think it's bite, right? Still itching. Okay. So there are two ways that I know how we could do this. One way would just be to add, to just cut in here and create this rough edge like this. And then we remove these faces and just, I guess refine the edge again. That's what I've done for the shoulder cloth, or basically the same way, but just, I guess, a little bit different. How we could do it is by using a Boolean modifier. So we could, for example, grab a cube. We could place it on the model like this. There you go. As long as it goes through the mesh, that's okay. And then we can grab a Boolean modifier, apply it with this block. Let's remove the subdivision modifier for a second. I'm gonna hide, or I'm gonna set it to wireframe so we can see through it. And we can see now there's a hole. You can see the hole is not, well, I don't know why, but sometimes it's not really a hole, it just adds the object to the mesh. I think a solution to that is to set it to fast instead of exact. Okay, apparently that doesn't work as well. Well, sometimes it helps to just move the cube as well until it works. Sometimes apparently it doesn't work at all. That's interesting. Oh, there it is. So you can see this works. I think the reason why it doesn't work is related to the geometry, so how the edges are set up. So I think an easier way to add this rough edge to this cloak will be to just use the knife brush, the knife tool. So we're just gonna go in here and basically do, you know, what we've done before. We're just gonna go in here and we're gonna create these weird shapes right here, like this. There you go. We can remove this. Perfect. It looks kind of weird right now, but we can still change it afterwards. I'm looking for ways to roughen up the edge right here. There you go. See? And this way we can, yeah, make it look more like this. For holes, we can just do the same. We can just go in here and, you know, do this. I'm just painting it in somehow like this, drawing it in, removing these faces. And we can think about how we want to refine them later. Right now I kind of want to just look at the silhouette. And the good part about this is, because we have separated and duplicated this piece and removed it from the original character, we can do as many changes as we want. If it doesn't look good in the end, we can still, you know, just take another duplicate and do it again. So yeah, of course that's not the goal, so we tried to make it look good. But you know, if bad comes to worse, or however you say it, we can do that too. There you go. Okay, I think that's a good beginning. Maybe I want to add one more right here. There you go. Remove this. Okay. We could probably grab some ripped cloth references. What I looked up before is how you can make ripped cloth. All I found were plugins where you can basically simulate ripping cloth apart, but that's not really what I wanted. I wanted to model it. I wanted to have a model in the end, not a simulation. So that wasn't really a good, you know, solution. But I think I found a pretty good reference while I was looking for a way to do it. Okay. Look at this beautiful ripped t-shirt. New on the market, only $9.99. Isn't that beautiful? Of course, not $9, $999, of course, or euros, wherever you live. It is meticulously designed that way, so it's not just random. It is exactly supposed to be that way. That's why it costs so much. Okay, and now I kind of try to copy what we see here over to the cloth, the cloak that we have here, basically. I don't really care about geometry too much right now. We can care about that later, once we're done with the detailing. This was kind of weird. Maybe we could add a little piece right here. There you go. Okay. Oh. As I said before, that's the technique that I've used for the shoulder piece as well. So I at least did it once, so I'm not just talking garbage right now, and in the end it doesn't work. I mean, overall, you know, I don't think you will ever hit a point where you can't do something. Well, you know, you might reach the point where Blender is at its limit, but this is not the point that we're gonna reach with this technique. I actually found a pretty crazy idea or crazy video recently, I think yesterday, where somebody created procedural wear and tear on an object. The way he did it was by he used dynamic paint to paint the tear onto the mesh. So what he's done is he grabbed the mesh and he basically put the mesh in a cube, I think. And then what he's done is he added like multiple emitters around the object. I don't think he needed a cube. He just added emitters around the object, and then he let these emitters emit dynamic paint objects, which means what that means is that every time these objects hit the surface of the object that is supposed to have the wear and tear, it would draw white on top of it. So if you do that multiple times, you know, you have these long lines being created, which means that it creates procedural wear and tear that way. You can then grab that black and white image that's being created by these bouncing objects and turn that into a texture, basically, which looked like such a complex solution for something so simple. You know, you have so many textures that you can use today to do the exact same. But of course, you can also do it procedurally, I guess, if you want. Okay. I think that's pretty good. I don't really like that it's sort of the same length everywhere. I kind of want to make some longer here. So we can maybe go in here and just add some more here. Just to kind of, you know, remove some more here. There you go. Maybe we can do the same here. You can see they all end at the same edge. I don't really like that. So why don't we go a little bit further? Oh. Okay. We can probably go to the edge here as well. Just do the same. There you go. Maybe we can do the same here on this side, and then we should be good. And the rest we can add in sculpting. Okay, I think that's pretty good. That's a good start. Now we come to the fun part. Now that we have the holds, we need to optimize the geometry. The way we do that is just by doing the same that we've done before. We basically we turn these non-quads into quads. One way to do that would be to just go into every single quad that is still, or into a future quad like this one, and just do this, for example. Now we split this object into two, and now we have two quads right here. Of course, we would have to extend this edge right here all the way over here, but we can do that afterwards. We want to first turn everything into quads. So let's begin. What I've done here for the shoulder piece, as you can see, is I basically I did the same for the edge that we've done for the cape as well. I made an edge that goes all the way around the tear and sort of the damage. I don't really know. I don't think that is necessary. So what we'll do probably is we will just turn all the quads, all the non-quads into quads, and then we can probably work with that. So yeah, let's begin the cleanup process. We're just gonna go in here. How can we turn this into a quad? Pretty simple. Da-da-da. That's a quad. That's a quad. And then we can maybe add a cut right here. There you go. Now we have all quads right here. This is a triangle, so this will not work. So let's see how we can clean that up. I guess what we can do, let's remove this edge real quick. We can add a cut right here. There you go. Perfect. And now we have quads everywhere. Nope, there's still one left. Hold on. Oh. There you go. Da-da-da. Perfect. Of course, this is now an n-gon, a vertex point that has more than 4 edges. As you can see here, this one has 4 edges connecting together on this vertex point. This one has more. This one has 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Generally, you want to avoid n-gons in hard surface sculpting, hard surface modeling. But I think for this, it should be good enough. I don't really know if we could actually avoid it. So we'll just keep it there. What we could do is we could grab this, pull it down, and then pull this together as well. We can then just merge by distance. Hold on. There you go. And now you can see it's also cleaned up. The problem is now... Oh, hold on. I actually made a mistake. Press Ctrl Z too many times. There you go. We want to keep this edge. I mean this vertex. Yeah. Merge by distance. Perfect. Now we want to remove... No. It actually doesn't work. Does it? Hold on. No, it'll always be 5. Okay, well, apparently we're just gonna keep it. I don't know why Blender has so many problems just when you press Ctrl Z. Okay, let's optimize the rest. So you can see here we have 2 axis vertices right there. Then you have one more here. What we could do is we could do it like this. I think that's pretty good. We can do it like this. There you go. Now we have a triangle right here. So how do we solve this triangle? The easiest way to solve a triangle would be to just add another cut right there. This way, this triangle will become a quad. There you go. This is not a quad, so we can't add any cuts right there. Another way to turn triangles into quads would be to make something like this. That's also a quad. But that just makes more problems, because now we need to extend this. Oh, this is actually pretty good. Oh, so this might be the better solution here, because then we can turn this into a quad as well. Perfect. See? Now we cleaned these faces here as well. Perfect. Okay. So this turned out to be better than what we had before. So this is a quad, right? No, it's not. Okay. So we need to turn this into a quad as well. This one is a quad. Perfect. One way we could do this, just do this. There you go. Oh, this is not a quad. We could add a cut right here. Maybe like this. Add one right there. We run into the same problem that we had before. This is a quad now, but this one isn't. So, oh, I guess we can just do this. No, we can't. Can we? Well, let's do it first, and then we can figure it out up here. So, what we could do is we could just extend it all the way up. Can we reduce the geometry though? Although, maybe we... you know what? I think I kind of like it. All the quads are done. No quads here anymore. It's clean geometry. Perfect. Okay, now we need to go in here. Now, this is a big boy. You can see right here. We have a lot of vertices to split up. But these should be pretty simple. There you go. Let's say quad. This one is a quad. Perfect. Of course, if you do these cuts here, you can sort of already think about where you want to connect them while you're using the knife tool. That makes it easier. But you can also just do it afterwards. There you go. No, yeah. Now we finished this part. That's all full quads now. I'm gonna go through the edges first and then I will connect them. You can see here they just end. And this is a huge just plane with multiple vertices. But we're gonna care about that later. First I want to care about the these parts here on the edge. Okay. I need to drink something. I don't know why, but my voice feels especially dead today. Okay. Let's see. So this is basically a quad. All we have to do is just do this. There you go. I think that solves it pretty well. We could also add one right here. Maybe that's better, because then we can move it up like this. We're going to do that for now. I think that's now not a quad anymore, but that's okay, because we can just do this. And that should be a quad. There you go. Perfect. Okay. This is not a quad, so how about we make it a quad? We have a triangle right here. We have one right here. So why don't we just add a cut right here? This way this triangle will become a quad. And this one is also a quad, is it? No, it's not. Oh, well, we can just remove this this vertex, I guess. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Moving onwards. This was pretty simple. There you go. Pretty simple. Here. Oh, this is also a quad. Perfect. And you can see even by changing the geometry, removing vertices on the outside, we can still retain the same shape. Let's continue. See here, we have a hole that we need to integrate, let's say. We can begin by, yeah, let's just begin. We're gonna begin here. Do this. We know that we need to continue this edge anyway, so we can continue like this. Oh, there's one right here as well. There you go. Perfect. Okay. So, of course, what we could also do, as I said before, is create edge flows all around these holes and edges. But you know, I've done it for the shoulder pad like that. So what I want to try now is do it a different way. So, you know, I just want to experiment a little bit. See what kind of results we get if we don't do it that way. Just to kind of see what it looked like in the end. Okay. I guess we can do this. There you go. Perfect. Edge flow can determine sort of the structure once we add subdivisions. You can see we have some pinch points here, but they could resolve once we go into sculpting. So we need to just see what it looks like later. There you go. See, most of them are pretty simple. All you need to do is add 1 or 2 cuts, and then you basically have a new quad. That's all quads, perfect. Now we come to this. I mean, you know, guess the easiest way to do this would be to just add 2 new cuts here. So there you go. There you go. And then we connect them all like this. Okay. Let's finish these faces here. Oh, how convenient. We can connect these now. There you go. And then maybe we can just add one more here. So I'm going to push these push those down a little bit. Right here. Grab the knife and add another cut right there. And there you go. Everything is quads. Perfect. To kind of smooth it out a little bit, we could push them over here. But we can do that in sculpt mode as well. So we're going to do that later. There you go. Perfect. Oh. Perfect. This is quite wide here, but that's going to be fixed later. Okay. Let's go over here. Next part. Yeah, we can probably go all the way to over here to finish this. There you go. That's the highest we need to go. Perfect. Okay. Moving on. Let's go to this one here. This is a quad. No, it's not. Okay. Wait. Oh, of course. There you go. Now it's a quad. We could add one more here. Perfect. Okay. Another quad. Easy. We have a problem right here, right? Yep. What we could do is just, I guess, subdivide this. So we have a new vertex right here. And now this is a nice quad. No, it's not. Okay. Well, I guess. Oh, we can simplify it. We can just grab this, connect these 2 pieces here, and remove this edge. And there you go. Perfect. We could maybe do the same over here, actually. Doing it like this. Dissolve edge. No. I'm gonna leave it there. Okay. And then we can, I guess, do the same here. There you go. Perfect. Okay, right here, we can add a cut like this. Perfect. Easy peasy. Do the same here. Okay. There you go. Now that's the only piece that is missing down here. I guess we can do this. We could also, let's see. I think I want to kind of fill the space some more. So what we'll do is just, we're going to pull 2 edges over here to fill this some more. There you go. Perfect. Gonna move this just over here. I don't really need this vertex. Oh, and merge by distance. There you go. Perfect. Because these faces get quite big up here, we could probably turn this triangle into a quad. There you go. Then we can turn this into quads. Perfect. We have another triangle right here. Easiest way would just be to subdivide this edge. Is there anything else we could do with it? We could add another cut right here. I don't want to add too much geometry though. I kind of want to keep it pretty low in terms of resolution. What if we just remove it? No, that looks weird. Well, hold on. What if we move that over there? That's pretty good. I actually like that. Okay. Perfect. This is pretty simple. We have the same here. Should we add one more cut right there? No, I'm just probably gonna subdivide this. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, that looks better. I think the easiest way to turn these into a quads would just be to add some more cuts right here. There you go. Oh. So the problem with triangles or n-gons, so everything that has more than 4 vertices, like this one, or 4 edges, everything that is more or less than 4 edges. So for example, this, nope, I don't know, this triangle right here. So we have a triangle right here. It has 3 edges. The problem is, if we would just leave it like that, the problem is looking at the, hold on. You can see, first of all, you can't add any edges here. You can't add any edge loops because it just stops where the triangle starts. And the next problem is it just makes it harder, it's just kind of harder to work with. What I mean is, for example, if we go to subdivisions, it'll still subdivide it. You can see it still subdivides it. But you can see we get some interesting pinch points here that we can very easily avoid by changing it to all quads. Overall, all quads makes it just easier to work with. That's the main point why I do it. Yeah. First of all, it just, you know, you can very easily add new cuts if we need to. And yeah, that's basically the main point. And, you know, if you want to, for example, go in here and you want to sharpen an edge, well, it's also sort of more, how do you say it? Like it's it's easily well it's you can easier see, you can see the geometry easier. You can sort of see where everything goes. With triangles, it's kind of see where the edge flow is. Everything's just kind of, you know, together in some sort of way. You don't really see, well, this edge right here follows this line, and then this edge follows this line all the way over here. It sort of just ends at some point. For example, over here, well, okay, we go in here, this edge follows this, and then it just stops. Where does it go? You know, you could go there, it could go there. We don't really know exactly. So by cleaning it up, it just makes it a little bit more apparent. Okay. There you go. If we would, for example, turn this or import it into a game engine, that would be a, well, game engines still, so game engines turn all the quads into triangles, so it wouldn't really necessarily be important to turn everything into quads. Where it is very important though is, for example, in animations. Sometimes you can use triangles to achieve good deformations when you animate something. But in general, having good edge flow and sort of edges like this, following a certain structure, you can much easier create good looking deformations. For example, if you look at the legs right here, if the structure right here of these faces follow the leg right here, you can easier create a nice smooth crease when he lifts his leg, which would be harder if you, for example, have like if these edges would just be horizontal, for example. It might still work, but it might look a little bit rougher, I guess you could say. Okay. I think generally you don't really need to turn everything to quads, but if you do it, it'll you prevent problems in the future, basically, that could arise, but don't have to. You know what? No. Wait. You know, actually I like it. There you go. That's pretty good. Now this one, last sort of small piece right here. We have one right there. Let's see. So we can probably connect these two and these two. And then we can just go in here and add another cut right there. Perfect. There you go. Okay. We could maybe make this flow a little bit better by merging this. So I'm going to remove this vertex again, remove the edge right here, and now we have a better flow. Oh, there's one more. Right here. There you go. Perfect. And then this one more. Let's see. So, do we really need... Oh, I added this triangle, right? I mean, this edge. So we can probably remove the edge. We can then add... There you go. Could probably work better if we add another cut right there. Perfect. And then connect pieces. Okay. So now that we've finished or cleaned up the geometry down here, we could probably do some more cleanup, but you know, we're going to keep it like this for now. We now need to extend it all the way up. You could see these edges just end. So how about we finish, we let them go through the entire mesh. Because otherwise these faces would just be n-gons, because they would have two more edges or vertices right there. Let me just quickly finish them all on the same edge right here. And then we can add some more creases, edges. And finish them up. There you go, perfect. So now they all end here. What we can do now is we can go to each individual one. We can see, oh, this one needs one more. So let's add one more. This one needs one more. This one needs one more. This one needs two more. Two more. Two more. One more. And two more. And then we just connect them. And then we have turned everything into quads. And then you can see some vertices are closer to each other than others. That's what we're gonna smooth in just a second. We can go to scope mode and basically, yeah, just smooth vertices. The way smoothing works in the scoped mode is it looks at the distance between vertices, as far as I understand at least. It looks at the distance between vertices and it pushes them more out if they're closer together than the average, I guess. There you go, everything is quads. We can see a big hole right there, but that'll probably be smoothed out in the end. Looks pretty good. So now let's go and save first. I'm gonna duplicate this just to be sure. Let's go to sculpting. We can see we're completely somewhere else. If we go into edit mode and press A, so we select everything, then we press numpad dot, we can zoom to the mesh. And now we can use the smooth brush to just kind of smooth everything out. You can see, going into edit mode, you can see there's this edge right here and everything is pretty close together. If I use the smooth brush now, a little bit over here, you can see everything gets kind of spaced out some more. And see, now they all have sort of those same distance from each other. Doing that over the entire mesh will make everything nice and smooth. So let me do that real quick and then we can go into the next step. The actual sculpting. The shape we can still change later, so I'm not really concerned about it too much. See how everything is perfectly nice and smooth here. We do the same over here. We change the shape a little bit just because of how the edges are sort of, how the edge flow is sort of created. Well, that's okay. We can see this gets pretty close together, so we can probably move it apart a little bit. There you go. I don't want to make it sort of layer on top of each other. I don't know why this stretches out too much. We could solve that though. Let me just smooth everything else first. Okay, that's pretty good. I like it. Up here, we can probably smooth... Oh, what is that? Oh, wait, did I turn everything into one face? I did. Okay, let me smooth all this just so, you know, get a nice, clean topology here. The shape, I'm not too concerned about the shape right now. We're gonna sculpt afterwards anyway. There's a weird overlap here, so if I can see it correctly. It seems like that, yeah. That just, we can fix that real quick. Okay. Looks pretty good. Okay. So, let me quickly see something. I think we're pretty good here. So, let me just quickly fix the geometry that we have here. You can see it kind of got smoother. I kind of want to keep the sharpness though, so I'm going to move that back out. Like this. There you go. Okay. Do the same over here. We can see it overlaps now. I think that's just because the smooth brush, I don't know, turned it into each other. There you go. Perfect. Nice and clean. And now we have a nice topology for the next step. And we also have a nice destroyed cloak, which we can now use for the sculpting. So let me just quickly save. And because the pivot point, we haven't changed the pivot point, what we can do now is we can first of all rename this so we have everything perfectly ordered. I mean, like, we can, you know, sort everything. Let me just quickly rename this. This will be Cloak raw. That's what I called it. There's this raw section, and then there's the final section. There you go, Cloak raw. This one will be Cloak block out. There you go. And this one we don't really need, but we could maybe call it Cloak raw 0.001, just because I want to keep the duplicate if anything goes wrong. Okay, perfect. Let's duplicate this and create the final version. So now I have the raw version that I want to use as the final version. So I'm going to go back into it and rename it from Cloak raw 002 to Cloak final 001. Move it into the final collection. And then we can select this cloak. We can select the old cloak. We go into the good old Align Tool plugin, which is which you can activate in the add-ons in the settings. And then you just go Align Location and Rotation. There you go, and perfect. The cloak is where it needs to be, on the same position that it was before. We can now hide the block out, and we can refine the shape even more. You can see it kind of intersects in some regions here. So yeah, let's go into sculpting. So now you can see we have nice geometry. We've refined the geometry. Now it is time to refine the shape. So let's go into sculpting. Perfect. First thing first, let's move it to where it needs to be. You can see it's going into the character. Let's move it out of the character first. Perfect. There you go. Because of the layering, we might need to move this shoulder cloth piece higher above the cloak, but we'll see about that later. That's pretty good. Perfect. Okay. There you go. So how I want to do this is I want to add, so of course I want to make this solid. I want to add solidity to this object. So what we need to do is just add a solidify modifier. There you go. I want to not go out so that it comes to us. I want it to go in so that the geometry goes in this direction instead of this direction, instead of this. That just makes it easier, because if we then go into edit mode, you can see we can't really see the geometry right now, but if we move it downwards, the actual geometry is on top of this solid geometry, which means we can see the geometry, which, you know, if we need to do changes, we can still do it. There you go. Perfect. Okay. One thing I want to change is this piece of cloth is supposed to be on top of this. So let's do that real quick. What we need to do is we need to, first of all, probably select these vertices here. We can, with numpad / separate the object from everything else. We can now select what we want to hide with a mask brush. Kind of making sure that we don't touch this part here. Well, we can also just Shift A. Oh, well, that doesn't work. Hold on. Shift A. Well, that... I mean, it worked. So, yeah, let's work with that. As long as I can kind of separate these two pieces, one being masked and one not being masked, I'm good. So all I want to do is mask everything except this piece down here. Well, that went horribly wrong. There you go. Because if we mask it, we can hide it, and then we can only affect one of the two layers. There you go. We invert the mask. We then say sculpt, hide masked, which didn't do anything. Why? Okay. Apparently that doesn't work. But that doesn't matter as long as we have it masked. We're not going to affect it. So that's all we really wanted. I want it. So now we can just grab it, push it down a little bit. I want to bring back the cloth so I know how deep I need to go. There you go. Here come the fine adjustments. Maybe we need to put the other cloth a little bit higher as well. There you go. Hovering over another object and pressing D will switch to that object in scope mode. And this way we can very easily switch to the other object and push it over the cloak. There you go. Do the same here in the back. Push it down, maybe a little bit more. Oh, we can see we already reached the limit. So we need to push this one higher. Of course, we could also use a transparency texture to add holes into the sculpt. But I like to use... I want to have this as a pure 3D model, which doesn't allow that. Maybe at some point I will 3D print this figure and then, you know, I couldn't because we use textures. And that would be fatal. Okay. Let's finish this. There you go. Go here. Push it up. Perfect. Okay. So now we've placed and layered the cloak. Everything is perfectly in place where it needs to be. Now it's time to add some wrinkles. Looking at the reference, this one is not a good reference. Let's look at a different reference. How about, this one's also bad. We have one from the back though, which is this one. You can see we can look at the same phenomenon that we had for these side pieces here. Of course, because it's being it's being held in place, the cloak, by these straps that we have here, that you can see right there. We will have, like this one, very sharp folds that go down and then go up again to the other side. You can see it right here. We have the same on this reference. So, of course, I think what I want to do real quick is I want to add just a few more cuts in between these phases, because these phases get quite long, which can lead to some weird shading in the end when we're sculpting. So what we can probably add some cuts right here. How about right here? You can move this one higher. There you go. Same here. Same here, maybe even 2. Oh. Oh, what is that? That was a quad. I mean, and not a quad all along. Oh no. Okay, let me fix that real quick. What happened here? Okay. Well, let's just do this. And then we have one more right here. Can we just... I don't want to add another cut. That will just... I don't want to do it. So what if we... Do we need this hole, actually? Well, it's quite... Nope, you know what? I'm going to remove it. There you go. Perfect. Okay, nice. So I think we have enough geometry here. We could add one more right there. That's pretty good to me. Maybe one more. Yeah. We can space this out some more. Can we... Oh, that's what I wanted to solve before. Can we sort of create a better solution here? Hold on. What if we do this? Okay. So this way... Oh, no. We have to do this. Yeah. That's better. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, that's better. I think that should be enough geometry here. We have the same problem here. Can we solve it? Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. Okay, just kind of trying to move around some geometry here. Of course, this will then sort of change this geometry away from what we have over here. But I think that's okay. We can maybe duplicate it so we just have a backup if we need it. Okay, this triangle. Let's see. I guess that works, sort of. There you go. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So, now that we have more geometry, we can begin the modeling process. The sculpting process. You know what? There can be one more here. One more there. And one more there. Maybe one more there. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Let's save. Let's duplicate it. And then let's begin. So, as we said before, well, first of all, we need more geometry. So, as we said before, we can't really use subdivisions, because with subdivisions we only have one level of detail that we can use. So, we need to replace the subdivision modifier with a multi-resolution modifier. And we subdivide it. Let's start with 1. There you go. Let's do a rough sculpt real quick. Multi-resolution also smooths the geometry a little bit, so if for curves they might get lowered a little bit, which means it kind of goes into geometry sometimes, as you can see here, very, very slightly. Okay, so let's begin with these parts here. No, actually, let's begin with this here. You can see the arm is close to the body, so what would probably happen is he would probably move the cloth backwards like this. There you go, very simply. That's all we really need to do here. We could also move it into the middle a little bit, like this, create some tension there, some squashing, that could help as well. Okay. Let me remove this face mask real quick. There you go. Okay, then the front here would probably sort of move forward, because it's, actually, will it? Let's move it a little bit forward. Like this. Just slightly. Of course, the cloth right here will probably rest on the foot. Like this. It's being pulled down by gravity, and then it rests, or it's being held up by the leg. Okay. I think that's a good beginning here. Perfect. Okay. And then the rest is just kind of free hanging here. There you go. Perfect. Okay. So that's those are the first adjustments. Let's now go in with the crease brush and do some more detailed adjustments, like adding these folds right here, and all the way over here to the other side, making sure that we don't hit or go through the handle of the scythe. There you go. Okay, we can also not just add geometry, we can also remove geometry. We have to be careful though, because it can't go that deep, because the other geometry comes below it. There you go, we can't go super, super deep. But that should be good enough. We could also pull it out a little bit to make some more room here. There you go. Maybe we can do the same here for like a smaller piece, like this. This one's resting on the shoulders. And then bunching up down here. Okay. We need a few more, as you can see there. They kind of fan out downwards. So we're going to do the same for this. For our character. Starting right there. And fanning outwards. I mean downwards. There you go. Getting broader and smoother as it goes, until it reaches the end. We can now shape these holes a little bit more. Because of the smoothing, we kind of removed some structure here. So by moving it with the, for example, snake hook brush, we can bring back some of that structure that we had before. There you go. Oh. We can even add some more sort of rough edges here, like this. Very, very simple. And that's all because we have good geometry. There you go. Wait, move please. Of course, the more subdivisions we add, the finer these spikes can be. But if we start off broad, we have some more shapes. Or we can even roughen this some more with that lower resolution. There you go. See, it looks way, way better already. We can also just do like, they don't all have to follow the same shape. Some can go forward, some can go backwards. It's all possible. There you go. There you go. Looks pretty good. Let's continue these folds. We have some more we need to add over here. One right here. Let's do... yeah, let's add one more here and then one more on the side here. There you go. Oh. Okay. So now that we have the most basic shape for everything here, guess what? We can add even more detail. We just hit the subdivide button and there you go. Everything is way, way smoother and we have way, way more geometry we can work with. So now we can even detail out these spaces here even more. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Awesome. There you go. Oh. We can see the further out we go from the top to the bottom, the folds or wrinkles are very, very sharp at the top and then get smoother and smoother and smoother the further down we go. We could maybe go in here and just kind of to add some more structure here as well, just to kind of add to this rigidness and to this broken state like this. That could probably help as well. But what I actually want to do is, because we have more geometry, we can detail these pieces here some more. So we can give this even more structure. There you go. There you go. What is here? What's going on here? What is that? Okay, that doesn't work, I guess. There you go. I think that's pretty good. We could also add some sort of cuts right here, like this, to add some more damage. The resolution is pretty low for this, so I don't want to do it too much. Of course, we can, add some more detail later as well. I mean, with one more resolution level. But overall, I think we're in a good spot here. That's pretty good. Okay. Let's add one more, and then I think we're perfectly good. Which means we probably have some more time to even go into the these things here. Oh, we need to go into this part here before we go into there. But let's finish this up here real quick. There you go. I think that's good. Going in here, making these pieces here a little bit sharper can probably help as well. Okay, and then once we have everything sculpted, we're basically done with the cloak. Well, we need to go to the front first, and then we're done. And even if we need to, if you want to change some more, if you want to do some more changes afterwards, we can still do that. Okay. Perfect. There you go. Make these last few edges here a little bit more edgy. And then we're done. Okay. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful cloak? What is going on here? Something's going on here, but I don't know what it is. Seems like the faces aren't... Oh. Recalculate outside. There you go. I think the normal were in the wrong direction. So there were some weird problems. Okay, there you go. That looks pretty good. Okay. We need to go to the front, finish up the front, and then we have the cloak. Let me look at the front real quick. So we could look at this. Let me see if I can find an in-game model though. Let me just quickly sit down. Okay. One more step, the front. We're gonna go back to resolution level 1 subdivision to begin. And yeah, we're gonna go from there. Let's see. I don't think we have a good front view, at least in these images. Let me see if I have some more that show it better. It's hard to see. I think we need to take the cosplay. I don't think I could find better references of the actual either concept art or the in-game model. So it seems like we're gonna grab the cosplay, which should be, let's see, where are you? There you are. Oh, hold on. Now, there you go. I think that's the best reference that we can find. We can see these sort of strings right there as well. If you want to, we can add them later as well. But right now I'm kind of more concerned with the overall shape here. Okay. Seems like it's being held together here in the front as well, so we need to add some folds. Right here. Very, not super big. Slight changes here in the height. I think that should be enough. Okay. And then we can sort of break up the geometry right there as well. Maybe we could add a few more here. Maybe one or two, because you can see it kind of caves in. So it would kind of slide together, which means it squashes together, which means we need a fold right here. Maybe one more right here. Perfect. Coming to the front, we can see here there's another pin, so we need to add one right here as well. And that should be good enough. Okay. I don't think we can do much more with that amount of resolution, so let's go to the next one. There you go. Looks pretty good to me. Okay. Oh, we can see here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Okay. Let's add one more level and then we're probably good on that part. We can also, oh, let's do that now. Let's add some damage here. Very simple damage. Like this, pretty simple. Not too crazy, just a little bit here. Break up the structure. Even not that crazy. Okay. Oh, that looks too clean. Let me maybe even move it a little bit here inwards. Just kind of break up the structure a little bit more. Right here. Perfect. I think that's pretty good. Okay. Let's go to subdivision level number 3 and then we're good. That should be enough. Okay. Do some more detailing here for these folds and then we have them all together. We can now go to the edge, just give that some more structure and then we're done. There you go. Perfect. Okay, I think that's it. I think we finished this part. There you go. Okay. So the only thing that is missing now is this collar, which shouldn't take too long, the mask piece, which shouldn't take too long, and the hat. Of course, these pieces here as well. So let's go into those now. Where are they? Shoulder strap. Perfect. More. There should be one more. Where's the other one? Oh no, didn't I name it anything? Like, it should have a name. Apparently not. Oh no. Where's my shoulder strap? Nope. Well, let's find it. There it is, easy. Perfect. Okay. So let's add the I think what I want to add first is this strap right here, because this one is pretty clear. Just goes to the back. Nothing more, nothing less. So let's begin with that. What do we need here? We need one piece that holds this part together. We need... Yeah, okay, so... we can probably find everything that we need on the character already. So we need a strap. We can just grab that one. We can unparent it. There you go. So we have the strap. The strap. There you go. We don't have a ring that, or like, we don't have a ring, but we can, you know, model that later. The next part that we need is, let's see. I kind of want to imitate what we can see here. So, let's see, what do we have here? We can probably use this part. No, oh, there it is. Here, this part. Probably for these two. So we're going to duplicate it. Wait, no, it's already on the model. Hold on. Where are you? There you are. Haha. We can probably just copy all this. No, you know what? I'm just going to duplicate this. We also need the cap here at the back, so that the strap ends well, in a good way. Is it parented? It is. But it's good. Like, the parenting is good. We could remove it. Let's remove it. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, there it is. Perfect. And then let's bring it over here to the strap. Let's add the first strap. Shouldn't be too hard. We could make it go around this piece. But I think I want to not do that. I think I would just want to let it go through once. So let's place the strap first. Okay, I just kind of try to place it where the base or the block out is for right now. It's too big, so I'm just going to make it smaller. That's pretty good. Perfect. Sort of lay it out and then we can detail it out some more. There it is. Go to the back. Let's add one more here. And go down to here. Perfect. Then we remove the block out. And we can place it actually on the mesh itself. I'm gonna push the cloak down probably just so we can fit it in here. So I'm gonna just keep the strap right there. There you go. Try to put it as close as possible to the surface. Requires some movement here with the camera. Okay. Looks pretty good. And then the strap ends right here. Okay. Okay. Oh no, I actually want to continue it. So it needs to go even further. To somewhere over here. Okay. That's a good spot. Now let's adjust the pieces that we have here. We have the cloak, which we need to push down a little bit. Let's bring down the resolution. We don't need that much, probably 2 is enough. Perfect. The other one, oh, well, we can maybe move it down a little bit right here. There you go. Okay. Looks pretty good. We have one more here. There you go. Perfect. Okay. So now that we have the strap in place, we can add the rest, like these pieces here. First of all, we need one more object here in the back, which I'm going to grab. What I want to use is probably this piece right here. Actually, no, the one with more volume, I guess you could say. So, there you go. It should already be on here, right? Somewhere. Let's see. Oh, it should be right here, right? This one. Yeah, that's the one. Perfect. Okay. Place it on the mesh. I mean, on the object. Here in the back. We can probably use it twice. There you go. That's the first one. We could maybe put them together. So we move it a little bit higher. Then we just add another one like this. That could look pretty cool. Okay. I don't think the clipping down there is too important. Try to avoid it, but you know. Sometimes it's just too fiddly. But I think that's pretty good. Okay. And then we need something for the back right there. I had this piece in mind with another addition. So let's put it here in the back. connect it to the end of the strap. Make it smaller so that it just barely fits on it right here. That's what I would like probably almost the most. Just adding these small fine details that just make, you know, add a certain new level of, yeah, basically detail to the model, which don't really affect the model too much, but they still have an impact when you look at it, you know, from in close-up. I think it kind of, for me, it has more value when you can not only look at a model from afar, but actually also from close. Like if you zoom in, you can still see that the person that worked on it thought about the smaller pieces or the smaller details as well. I don't know. I always like that. Okay, so that's the first piece. We need to add one more thing, which we probably find down here. We could either use this one, which is quite big, or we could use, where is it? There it is. This one. This one could work better. Although I kind of want to use this one again. Let me see. Let me see if this one is too big. Oh, where are you? Oh, there you are. Wait, why is it displaced? With the lattice, probably. There you go. Okay. There you go. Place it on the mesh. That looks pretty cool. Align it with the mesh underneath and then place it above it. Come on. Oh. There you go. That looks actually pretty cool. Yeah. Maybe we should lift it higher. There you go. Yeah, there you go. I like that. Okay. Can we do something more over here? We could maybe add a little bit more here. So let's see. Something to cover this up. It looks too boring. Let's see. What do we have here? We could use this piece. Although I'm not quite sure how it would fit. Oh, actually, let's see. There you go. You know what? What if we just add it to the side here? There you go. Maybe a little bit too big. I mean, it looks pretty... no, you know what? I think it can stay like this. Yeah. Okay, let's add the second one. We could maybe even move it over here so that it ends right there. One thing that we need to do, though, is looking at the back. You can see we have two straps right here. So we need to find a solution for that. I already have one, I think. But let's go. Let's add the strap first. Oh, we have the front. We still need to do the front. Okay. So how should this end? I have an idea. I'm going to place it somewhere over here. Probably higher than the strap first. There you go. Now this will be interesting. Okay. Maybe like this. Let's see. That could be interesting. Although I need one more here. Otherwise it's not really a curve. Okay. And then we could maybe end it with another cap right here. Okay. Where's the cap? There it is. There you go. I think that's pretty cool. We could maybe add some pins right there. Or maybe one that we already have here. Which is... Oh, we could use this one. Which should be somewhere over here already. Hold on. Is it this one? Oh, it's already here. There it is. Wait. Oh, no. Wait, where did I use it? Oh, there it is. Oh, cursor to selected, object at origin to 3D cursor. Oh, we need to move the pivot point to the surface right here though. To this face. I mean this vertex. This way we can place it right on the surface of whatever we want to place it on. Problem is, it's probably not going to work with the curve or the strap. Because I don't know why, but the strap geometry will not be registered as... Wait, is it? No, see, it's underneath. I don't know why, but the curved geometry will not be registered as actual geometry, which is kind of annoying, but not a big deal. Line them up. There you go. Perfect. I think that looks pretty cool. Okay, there you go. First part done. Let's go to the other strap right here. So for this one, we probably need another of these frames, let's call them. So this will be annoying. Did I name this? Let's see, color, perfect, we can hide it. That'll be easier. There you go. Because this we can use to connect this strap to this one, to the main strap. Okay. Looks pretty good. You know what? Why not? Yes, I am that that annoyed by it. There you go. No going through, okay? There you go. Okay, so last but not least, let's go into this piece here. Well, do we have a good look for it? Well, we have the front view again. Where is it? This one? Well, yeah. So, no, yeah, okay. I guess we can just do it. Yeah, let's use this piece here. No, let's use the cab. Place it here on this piece. Right there. Nice and connected. Maybe even down here to kind of give it an offset. Perfect. I think that's pretty good. And then let's add the strap first. Where is my strap? There it is. I'm gonna remove everything but 3 vertices. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. I'm gonna hide this one so I can freely work on this. So, wow, what a song. Okay, place it in there. And once we have placed it, I want to add one more thing to this cab before it's finished. To finalize it, basically. There you go. We're going to bring this closer so we can connect these 2 straps here. How do we want to connect them? Oh, I have an idea. Do I? Do I? Maybe not. I don't want to do another turnaround. That's kind of boring. Actually, is it? Yeah, that's boring. That's boring. Okay, so we have to figure something else out. Well, we could just end the same way that we did it before. Right here. Like this. That could work. Okay, placing it right on top of it. There you go. Putting the strap in there. Perfect. Okay, there's one more thing that I want to add to this cap right there. Let me just quickly grab it, which is this piece right here. Unparent, there you go. I know I can also clear the, apply the transformation, but I refuse. I don't know why, but I do. There you go. Add it right here, just to make it a little bit more interesting. More ornamental. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so this end, well, it ends somewhat. I think that's okay though. We need to connect this piece now to this strap right here. So we can probably work with this again. Gonna grab it, put it right here. There you go. There you go. Okay, I think that's in a good spot now. A little bit too high though. Come on. There you go. Perfect. Okay. And now we have this strap right here, which then needs to connect to there. And then there needs to be another way down. I think we're going to figure that out tomorrow, or I'll figure that out off stream. We'll see. But we got a lot done today. We finished this cloth piece. We refined the cloak. We changed the geometry. We added some wear and tear down here. We also basically sculpted the cloth so that it looks like, it looks like real cloth, or like a real, what do you call it, cloak. All we need to do now is finish this, the small strap right there, the face mask, as well as the hat, and then we are done with the character. We can probably finish this tomorrow. I think we can, I'm pretty confident. So that we can then go into the glaive. The glaive will be interesting. But we're gonna care about that when we get there. So, we're gonna end it here. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening, watching, chatting. or just being here. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Maybe I'll see you next time. Welcome, Maya. It's coming together, you know. Soon it's gonna be finished. Of course, the character is gonna be finished. Then we need to do the glaive, which has some more details to it. But you know, we'll get through it. Yeah, tomorrow we will work on the collar, mask, and hat. So yeah, hope you enjoyed today's stream. Maybe you learned something new. Maybe you, I don't know, worked on your own pieces. Either way, hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Thank you for joining. Maybe I'll see you next time. Until then, have a great rest of your day. Take care.